Hello, everybody. Every word that we know makes a difference because every word is an idea. And as we are learning more and more words, we are exposing ourselves to more ideas. Every good idea is germinal in nature. And what do I mean by this is that, like the germs are carried on a surface or on any body or any living organism, even if we do not want to carry them. In a similar way, good ideas imbibe into our subconscious and remain there even if we do not strive to keep them. So, work hard because hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Make rest of your life the best of your life and you can do this. So, the first word for today is inclined. Inclined. Inclined means tending or leaning forward, bent. Example: I am inclined to join the language improvement program because I feel it is very important for my professional expertise. Next word is inclusive. Inclusive. Inclusive means tending to include all. Example: the comedian turned down the invitation to join the Players Club, saying any club that would let him in was too inclusive for him. When you are trying to face any competitive exam or any competition, you have to be inclusive in your study. Next word is incognito. Incognito. Incognito means using an assumed name with identity concealed. Okay, so example for this: the monarch enjoyed traveling through the town incognito and mingling with the populace to know their problems. This was the usual practice followed in ancient times when the king wanted to know the state of his people. Next word is incoherent. 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 Now, coherent is something that is easy to understand, that gets hold in the brain. In actually is a word part. In prefix in actually means not. So incoherent means not coherent. Its meaning is muddled, unintelligible. Example: the bereaved father sobbed and stammered, his words becoming almost incoherent in his grief. After he won the last game, his voice became incoherent out of joy. Next word is incommodious. Incommodious. Incommodious, again, in makes the word not commodious. Okay, so incommodious means not spacious, inconvenient. Example: in their incommodious quarters, they had to improvise for closet space. This small car is incommodious for their big family. Next word is incompatible. Incompatible means not compatible, inharmonious. Example: the married couple argued incessantly and finally decided to separate because they were incompatible. Next word is incongruity. Incongruit. Incongruity means absurdity, lack of harmony. Example: the incongruity of his wearing sneakers with formal attire amused the observers. Lady Gaga is known for her incongruity of his wearing fashion. Next word is inconsequential. Inconsequential. Inconsequential means not significant, not important. Okay. Consequential means important, significant. Inconsequential means not significant, not important. Example: brushing off Ali's apologies for having broken the wine glass, Tamara said, "Don't worry about it, it's inconsequential." Next word is inconsistency. Inconsistency. Inconsistency means a state of being self-contradictory. Consistency means uniformity or steadiness, and inconsistency means lack of uniformity or lack of steadiness. Example: how are lawyers different from agricultural inspectors? Where lawyers check inconsistencies in witnesses' statements, agricultural inspectors check inconsistencies in grade A eggs in a farm. Next word is incontinent. Incontinent. Incontinent means lacking self restraint. Example: his incontinent behavior off stage shocked many people and they refused to attend the plays and movies in which he appeared. He is known as a coquette in the society because of his incontinent behavior towards females. Next word is incontrovertible. Incontrovertible. Incontrovertible means something which is indisputable. And what is indisputable means no one can come to you to fight over it. Okay, so incontrovertible means indisputable. Example: we must yield to the incontrovertible evidence that you have presented and free your client. You must produce incontrovertible evidence in order to prove him innocent. Next word is incorporate. Incorporate. Incorporate means introduce something into a larger whole. Combine. Example: breaking with President President Truman ordered the military to incorporate blacks into every branch of the armed services. Many armed forces in the world now incorporate females as soldiers. Next word is incorporeal. 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 Corporeal means related with the body or flesh. Incorporeal means not related with the body. Incorporeal means immaterial, without a material body. Example: we must devote time to the needs of our incorporeal mind as well as our corporeal body. Ghosts are incorporeal. Next word is incorrigible. Incorrigible. Corrigible means something that can be corrected. Incorrigible means uncorrectable. Example, though widow Douglas hoped to reform Huck, Miss Watson pronounced him incorrigible and said he would come to no good end. The actress performed the role of a incorrigible girl, unwilling to yield against evil. Next word is incredulity. Incredulity. Incredulity means a tendency to disbelief. Credulity is actually quickness of believing with slight evidence. Incredulity means not believing or a tendency of disbelief to disbelieve anything. Example, your incredulity in the face of all the evidence is hard to understand. Next word is incredulous. Incredulous. Credulous means withholding belief, skeptical, doubtful. Example, when Jack claimed he hadn't eaten the jelly donut, Zill took an incredulous look at his smeared face and laughed. Next word is increment. Increment. Increment means increase. Example, the new contract calls for a 10% increment in salary for each employee for the next 2 years. On an average, individuals increase 5% of their salaries every year. But there are some exceptions in the society who double their salary, triple their salary, even multiply their salary 5 times in a year. What is their secret? It is still unknown to others. It is only known to them. Next word is incriminate. Incrimminate. Incriminate. Incrimminate. Incriminate means accuse, serve as evidence against. Actually, whenever a firm evidence is produced in the court, it incriminates the convict. Example, the witness's testimony against the racketeers incriminates some high public officials as well. PMO's retired officers book incriminates some ministers of the ruling party. Next word is incubate. Incubate. Incubate means hatch, scheme. Example, in as much as our supply of electricity is cut off, we shall have to rely on the hens to incubate these eggs. The group tried to incubate to gain more money. Next word is incubus. Incubus. Incubus means mental care, burden. Example, the incubus of financial worry helped bring on her nervous breakdown. Next word is incumbent. Incumbent. Incumbent means office holder. Example, the newly elected public official received valuable advice from the present incumbent. Next word is incur. Incur. Incur means bring upon oneself. Example: his parents refused to pay any future debts he might incur. Next word is incursion. Incursion. Incursion means temporary invasion. Example: the nightly incursions and hit and run raids of our neighbors across the border tried the patience of the country to the point where we decided to retaliate in force. This happens in LOC, at LOC between India and Pakistan. Next word is indefatigable. Indefatigable. Indefatigable means tireless, that which cannot be fatigued. Example: he was indefatigable in his constant efforts to raise funds for the Red Cross. Next word is indemnify. Indemnify. Indemnify means make secure against loss, compensate for loss. Example: the city will indemnify all homeowners whose property is spoiled by this project. Next word is indenture. Indenture. Indenture means bind as servant or apprentice to a master. Example: many immigrants could come to America only after they had indentured themselves for several years. In ancient times, when slave trade was dominant in various parts of the world, whoever purchased the slaves were actually indenturing the services of the slave. The slave was bind as servant to master, and that too without any money given to them. Next word is indeterminate. Indeterminate. Indeterminate means not clearly determinable, uncertain. Example: that interest rates shall rise appears certain. When they will do so, however, remains indeterminate. Next word is indicative. Indicative. Indicative means suggestive, implying. Example: a lack of appetite may be indicative of a major mental or physical disorder. Next word is indict. Indict. Indict means charge. Example: if the grand jury indicts the suspect, he will go to trial. Next word is indifferent. Indifferent. Indifferent means lacking concern, unmoved. Example: because she felt no desire to marry, she was indifferent to his constant proposals. When you train yourself for weightlifting, sometimes you have to be indifferent to the load you lift. Next word is indigence. Indigence. Indigence means poverty. Example: Neither the economists nor the political scientists fund sorry, have found a way to wipe out the inequities of wealth and eliminate indigence from our society. Even after 50 years of independence of our country, the condition of indigence in society remains the same. Next word is indigenous. Indigenous. Indigenous means native. Those people who belong to a particular region. Example, actually native means not only native applies to living beings, it also applies to non-living things. Okay. So example of indigenous goes like this. Tobacco is one of the indigenous plants that the early explorers found in this country. Next word is indignation. Indignation. Indignation means anger at an injustice. Actually, our emotions make us human. What are the emotions? Happiness, anger, okay, sadness. These are emotions. So, indignation is a particular emotion that arises due to injustice. So, anger at an injustice is called indignation. Example, he felt indignation at the ill treatment of the helpless animals. His indignation at the decision of the law court made him to protest against it. Next word is indignity. Indignity. Indignity means offensive or insulting treatment. Dignity means holding something in a high position in a good way. Indignity means not dignity, not indignity, not dignity. Okay, opposite of dignity. So, indignity means offensive or insulting treatment. Example, although he seemed to accept cheerfully the indignities heaped upon him, he was inwardly very angry. Next word is indiscriminate. Indiscriminate. Indiscriminate means choosing at random. Confused. Actually, discriminate means something that can be differentiated from others, and indiscriminate means mixed up. And when something is mixed up, you are confused to pick which one. So you choose at random. So that is what is called indiscriminate. Example, she disapproved of her son's indiscriminate television viewing and decided to restrict him to educational programs. Now, with lots of TV channels available, we all are indiscriminate in our television viewing. Okay, so this was the last word for today. Thank you.